Hey everyone, and welcome to the midweek episode of the vlog. And today we've got a really good video, at least I think so. So we are going to be doing something different. We're going to be fitting a new radio head into the Fiat, and it's a very special little head. But before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of unboxing. We're going to have a look at this head, but before we even do that, let's take a look at the car and let's talk about a couple of the plans that we've got coming up in the next couple of videos. Okay, so the Fiat 500, especially the Abarth model, is a fantastic looking car on the outside. When you get inside the cockpit, it can be a little bit overwhelming or underwhelming, as the case may be. The dashboard, while really retro looking and looks great on a 500, for a sporty car like the Abarth, it just looks a little bit bland. It doesn't really come across very well. And of course, this radio, I'm not sure where the motor industry is in terms of its in technology development for vehicles, but certainly the early 500 was really poor. I mean, that's my thoughts anyway behind that. And this little MP3 player that comes standard with the 500, I've never been a fan of, and so we're going to upgrade it. But we're not just going to upgrade this with a standard single DIN radio. Oh no, what we're going to be putting in here is a double DIN Atoto Android based double DIN headset. Now, the first thing I hear you say is, how do you get a double DIN inside a single DIN aperture? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how. We have a kit and a conversion kit that we can put into the car, and you're going to see that fitted into the car next Monday. But today's episode, we're going to concentrate solely on the double DIN. We're going to take a look at it, do an unboxing just to see what we get with the head unit from Atoto, and I'm going to have a little bit of history on Atoto as a company, because it may be a brand that you might not be familiar with. And while we're on the subject of the car, this dashboard, like I said, is quite boring. I love this little turbo boost and shifter. That looks really great, but the dashboard, it's just not cutting it. So I'm going to do an upgrade to the dashboard. We're going to fit the digital dash, the TFT dash that is available for the 500. Now, how easy is it to fit? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in a forthcoming video in the next week or so. So that'll be a one that be good for you to see, because it really is an easier modification and easier than you think it is. Okay, so let's take a look at our new head unit from Atoto, and let's see what you get. And we're going to look at this particular model right now. Okay, so on screen now you can see the Atoto A6 Pro. Now, this is an Android based audio system. It's a double DIN system. The model number specifically is a A6Y2721PRB. Now, let's take a look and see what you get in the kit. Now, I've had radios or audio systems from China before, and the one that I had, if you recall, at my Audi TT, my Mark 1 TT, we had a no name, it was called, or that's what I was calling it, and that's what it was advertised on eBay as. But Atoto are different. They, just looking at the box here, the motto they have is different, better, reliable. And that's certainly the case when I've had engagements. By the way, Atoto are not sponsoring this video. The only thing they've done is they've sent me this to review. So this is an unbiased review of this product. I'm not getting paid. I'm literally unboxing and fitting this. So what you see is raw. Right, okay, so let's take a look and see what you get inside of the box. So these boxes are well packed. You get, this is a wireless access point because it's an Android based head. So this will allow you to tether to your phone, or indeed allow you to connect to the device using wireless. You get a GPS receiver. So this allows sat nav in the vehicle. This is a USB interface. So it allows you to connect your USB male to this USB-B, so you can put this cable anywhere in the car. You also get a mic for making phone calls if you're using the unit as receiving calls. And then this is where Aototo, I think this is the valuable and the reliability and the quality bit comes into play, because in the past when I've purchased a sound system from China, you get this. So you have to hardwire all your cables in, and I remember the last time I did this, I kind of scotch wire my way in. But in the Aototo kit, you get 2 ISO connectors. So for those of you who are unaware, ISO is a standard that a lot of the audio manufacturers use to connect to cars, and a lot of car manufacturers tend to abide by that. I say a lot, but not all, and unfortunately Fiat isn't one of them. And the reason why some manufacturers don't adhere to the ISO standard is because their radios that come from the manufacturer, they're not really designed to be taken out of the car. So they make the assumption that their radio is good enough and that you'll never need to change it for anything else. So Fiat in the 500 don't comply with ISO. But if they did, then you get the ISO A and the ISO B, and the main differences between the two is the wiring configuration for the power. So here on the ISO B, the red cable is down the side here, whereas in the ISO A, it's at the top. The connectors are the same. These are standard connectors that you get on ISOs, and then you've got all the auxiliary cables, so cameras and power antenna. These are all separate. You can wire those in together. The speakers are also very similar. So in ISO A and B, they are exactly the same. So these are the speaker cables down the bottom, and then these ones at the top here are going to be your power and also your permanent feed, because you need a permanent feed for the radio so it can remember any stations that you connect. But this is not something that I've seen in a Chinese branded radio, so you can tell the quality that Aototo are trying to achieve and what the standard they're trying to set. You also get a couple of mounting kits that you can use to mount in your head unit. And also you get a frame, so this sits on the front of the radio and basically it hides all the edges. So this, if you can imagine, will be sitting there, and then this will sit on top of it, something like that. Okay, you get some screen protectors with it as well. So you've got a frosted one here and also an HD one. So the frosted one is obviously frosted, and HD allows you to give a clear, you can see the screen clearly, and that allows you to protect the glass. Then you get the instructions, and the instructions, there are a number of instructions that come with this car, including gesture. So this radio has the A6 Pro has a gesture. So basically what that means is that I can turn the volume up by doing this, which is fantastic. We'll demonstrate that when we fit this into the car. You get your warranty and support online. So Aototo on their website, they have a very good support facility that allows you to download the information if you have any problems. Then we come to the manual itself, and I must say this manual is very well written. I had a quick look at it and I was very impressed in the way that it is laid out and the instructions that are given. Pretty straightforward. It's giving you all the functions of the actual unit and what you can do, and then your installation at the back, etc. So pretty good so far. All right, so let's get to the main meat now, the radio unit itself. So let's take that out and take a look at the head unit itself. So as you can see, I haven't seen this myself, so you're seeing this for the first time. Again, nicely packaged up in the actual package, and then let's just pull this out, and there we go. It's actually quite light as a unit. very compact as well. So at the front I've got a micro SD slot, so I can stick my music onto that and then play it directly from the SD card. The screen is very clean. It would be, obviously it's brand new. Down the bottom I've got my on and off button, I've got my volume up and down, I've got my next track and back, and I've got a home button here as well. There's an auxiliary input. This is the gesture sensor, so that's what you have to set up. We've got a reset button here as well, and then at the top here we have a mic. You probably can't see that from where you are. Let's bring it in a bit closer. Here we go. So that's the front of the screen. Okay, looking at the back, let's put that on the box here. At the back of the head unit we've got our Wi-Fi connector, we've got our FM antenna and GPS. This is where we plug in our aerial socket, and then we've got some outputs for our amps. So we've got a preamp, we can plug them straight into here, and then this is the main connector for these plugs here. So whatever one I'm using, that plugs straight in there, and then that does all the connections, so no messing about there at all. We've got a USB-A socket here at the back, and we've also got our USB, so this cable that comes here, that plugs into that like that, and then you feed that through to where you want. On the side here we've got our mic socket, and I don't know what this one is here, but if I read the instructions it will probably tell me. All in all, it's a very professional, very well laid out head, and I'm going to really enjoy fitting this into the car. So you're probably thinking, okay, that's great, Paul, it's a very good unit, but how do you fit this into a Fiat 500 which has got a single DIN socket? Well, let me show you. Let me clear this away, and I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to fit this. Okay, so you can see on the screen now, this is our kit that we're going to be using, that's going to convert our 500 into a double DIN. So this kit doesn't really have a name, it's just got a model number, and if you're interested in getting one of these, if you go to our Amazon store, which is linked below, the Car Support Amazon store, you'll see a hi-fi section, and I've linked this kit on there so you can purchase that there, as well as the radio as well. So let's show you the kit. So here we have our double DIN aperture, so this is where the radio will slide into, and we bolt this into the car. We've got some instructions on how to fit and take apart the standard OEM radio slot, and this also incorporates the air vents as well, and that's where this kit is ingenious, because if I let me show you, these are the vents for the radio, and here is the actual kit. So the air vents, as you can see, they're converted to side rather than sitting at the top, and then once you move those, that gives you the double DIN aperture, and then you have basically you divert everything around, so the air is diverted via these and they go into here, so that bolts into the back there, the other side, that bolts into there like that. As you can imagine, that's in the car, and then the air goes through there, so you're still getting the airflow, you're not losing the airflow, and yeah, it looks much better. And then the radio fits in from behind, so that sits in front, and as you can see, looks real good, doesn't it? So yeah, that's how that's going to look in the car. So I think it's going to look really good actually once we get it fitted into the car. But before we do that, I mentioned earlier that Fiat do not comply with the ISO standard that most of the big car audio vendors are using, so you need to get a little device, and I'll show you what that is now. Okay, so you use this little converter here, and then you use the ISO B connector, and that basically allows you to connect this into here. So if I plug that in there now, so that's how that plugs in, like that. And you can see straight away that the red wire lines up with the red, and the black and the orange, these two they all line up. And then this end here connects to the standard output from the 500, and that gives me my connectivity, because this is wired up in the same format as the 500. So that's quite important. And then of course we've got our noise isolator that stops all the engine, the alternator feedback noise from hitting the radio, so it suppresses that, and then we can use that for the radio, etc., and that plugs into the head unit as well. So there you go, that's all the components that you need to get that. And I've got one of these on my site as well, on my audio shop, so if you want to use that, then you can order it from the Car Support Amazon store. So we're going to install all of this now on a Monday. You're going to see that done on a Monday's video, and then I'm going to show you some features of the radio. But all in all, I am very impressed so far with the setup and the way that this radio hangs together, and also the instructions that you get. And obviously this kit here, we'll see how that looks and performs when we fit it in the car. Okay, so very impressed with the Aototo head unit. We're going to test the sound over the weekend once we fit the radio head to the 500, and all being well, you'll see that on Monday. Good, so that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this update. Don't forget to subscribe, as we always tell you, and hit the bell notification so you know whenever we release a new video. And also don't forget to check out our sponsors website, Tool Maniac, and the link below will take you through to the last few calendars still available, so and even better discount. So benefit, get hold of those today. So we're going to see you on Monday, so enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you Monday at around between 4 and 6.